Hello and welcome. Today's project is all about the negative programs we install throughout the course of our lives that really don't serve us, and it can lead somebody to extreme health anxiety. Health anxiety is just a negative program they installed and have been practicing over a long period of time. And when we're children, what happens is we're in this theta brainwave state continuously. That means we're absorbing information around us all the time. And we're constantly observing the people around us and, well, unconsciously, because this theta brainwave state is unconscious. And so we're absorbing the mannerisms, the actions, the words and the beliefs, the values of other people. And especially with our parents, we're watching mom or dad respond to a situation. And if it's in a negative way, we download that program. Oh, respond to this situation in the same manner they responded to that situation. So growing up, you may have downloaded a lot of negative programs from your parents, from the people around you, from society itself that lead you to health anxiety. One of your parents might have had health anxiety. They were worried about their health. They responded to their health in a negative way, and you absorbed that programming. And now you're older in your life, and now you're suffering from the same negative program. So in this video, how do we uninstall this negative program? Well, we can actually access this theta brainwave state through meditation, through NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, through hypnotherapy. Even before bed, we go into this brainwave state before we get into that deep sleep. We can do this at home. If you listen to affirmations and speak the affirmations out loud with confidence, you're changing the circuitry. You're uninstalling the programming little by little. Also, meditation, visualization, accessing that unconscious mind is changing the circuitry, is changing the programming. So we can do this at home. And that's why talk therapy doesn't work so well. We can talk about things, but the program is in our unconscious mind. That's what we need to access, the unconscious mind. And so I want to get into the shadow, because the shadow is a really important part of us that we really need to address, because it can pop its ugly head at any moment. And Carl Jung describes the shadow as repressed thoughts, emotions, feelings that we just don't want to confront, right? But we have to confront them. We have to confront the dragon of chaos in order to overcome the challenges. And you can see this in the Knights of the Round Table, King Arthur's tale. How do they find the Holy Grail? They go into the part of the forest that's most darkest to them. So what you need to find is in the place where you least want to look. So these negative programs are running in a place where you just don't want to look. Our impulsive pleasures, our addictions, the negative thoughts come from the place that we don't want to confront, we don't want to contend with. But we have to contend with that part of us, the shadow part of us, in order to change the programming. We have to become aware. That's the key here, awareness. Because the shadow doesn't survive in awareness. You can also look at the shadow as ego, as being totally unconscious. And society wants us to be unconscious because we're very impulsive when we're unconscious. We just give in to our desires when we're unconscious. When we are aware, we are unlikely to eat that junk food or buy that McDonald's. We are unlikely to buy those products when we are aware. And society doesn't want that. They want us to be dependent. They want us to be puppets, right? So when we become aware, we're more aware of what we're eating, and then the pharmaceutical companies are like, well, that's not going to benefit us. We want you to be unconscious, because if you're unconscious, you're going to eat poorly, and then you're going to be sick, and then you're going to have to buy the medications, right? And so being aware is being free from ego, but also being aware means that you recognize that there is a shadow part of everybody, that those negative thoughts come from that part. Because health anxiety sufferers think that they're unique, that they're the only ones thinking these thoughts, that they're going crazy. And so it's important to recognize that everybody has the shadow. And if we don't attend to the shadow, if we don't continuously maintain our mental health and physical health, what happens is we're more susceptible to go back into unconsciousness. We're more susceptible to go back into ego and the shadow. You can look at the shadow as the dark web, the part of our brain that we just don't want to confront, right? The dark web is where the desires and the impulsive pleasures are. That's where unconsciousness is. And you can look at the shadow as the thing that's decaying continuously across time. So like a house, the house naturally decays. But you can prolong that decay by maintaining it, fixing it up. And if you just leave your room alone, if you don't even put things back into its right place, things build up so quick around you. And like our bodies, if we don't continuously maintain our bodies, we don't continuously maintain a strict routine or maintain a strict diet, and we can continuously fall back into the shadow. We're more susceptible to go back there. So like myself, even though I've come far and overcame anxiety, I can easily slip back into the shadow if I stop meditating, if I stop eating the diet that I'm on, if I stop exercising, if I stop reading and spending that quality time with myself. I can easily slip back into unconsciousness, and then in unconsciousness I will be more susceptible to what society is telling me, what the radio is telling me, because I used to be so dependent that I believed everything. I believed whatever people said on the radio. I believed the newspaper. I believed the talk show. I believed it all. I believed if I was working with somebody, I believed what they were saying. And I needed to develop my own independent being, right? I needed to look into things on my own. And that's why a couple videos back when Maggie and we talked about diet, we told you that, we're giving our opinions, but you should really look into the diet yourself and develop your own conclusions, right? And that's the thing. How do we become more independent and become more aware? And through that awareness, we're more independent. And through that awareness, we're detached from ego. We're detached from the shadow. And a great technique to battle these thoughts that come from the shadow, like these negative thoughts about your health, or whether you have a disease, or negative thoughts about your family, the best way to battle this is to ask yourself, so what? So what? It's through this detachment that you can become more aware, right? And it's by saying so what, you're detaching yourself. So when you think of that negative thought, and like most people, those negative thoughts lead to negative emotions, instead of it snowballing down that negative emotion road, you can look at that visualization or that thought as being, or you can tell yourself, so what? So what if I think that? I don't really believe that. Do I really believe this thought? Do I honestly really want this to manifest in my life? Really ask yourself that. Do I want this thought to really come true? Is that really what I want? And I'd ask myself that, and I'd be like, no, it's not. And then the thought would go away. Because we get 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. We can't be reacting to all those thoughts. And those thoughts come from the negative programs we download over time. And so when you react to that thought, like, so what? Or if you're feeling anxious and you're suffering from severe health anxiety, say, if it kills me, let it kill me. Surrendering to the emotions is really powerful. If it kills me, let it kill me. I'm just going to accept it. I'm not feeling great today. I'm just going to accept it, and I'm just going to give back to myself, and I'm going to I'm going to spend time with myself to unravel the underlying fears that have resulted in this uncomfortable feeling. Anxiety sufferers have a hard time recognizing their thoughts because not only does the amygdala take over all other brain processes, it's that anxiety sufferers are feeling the emotions all the time. And so when you recognize the emotions, you can surrender to the emotions, and then you're surrendering to all of the hundreds of thoughts, even thousands of thoughts that are linked to that emotion. Because one emotion can be linked to thousands of thoughts. The thoughts lead to the emotions, right? So surrendering to the emotions through these questions like, so what? Do I really believe, do I really want this to manifest in my life? Is this really what I want? We can detach ourselves, become more aware, become more conscious of what is going on, become more present. Because through that presence is that detachment of the ego. And so it's that continuous stepping into the unknown that's going to lead you down the road of anxiety recovery. Because the programming that you've been running for such a long time is what you're used to. And so when you step out of the known territory of what you're used to and into anxiety recovery, you're going to be met with a lot of resistance. It's going to get worse before it becomes better. That's why a lot of people don't want to change their ways. And so when you continuously expand your horizon and step into the unknown and become a student of anxiety and continuously develop yourself mentally and physically, you change the circuits and then you change the programs. Change the circuits. What makes up what are the qualities of a health anxiety sufferer? Well, health anxiety sufferer is very dependent. The health anxiety sufferer Googles a lot, goes to the doctor a lot, touches the parts of their body a lot, avoid going outside to places, many things. So recognizing those things and then changing even one of those habits is changing the circuitry. And then you change the program. And that's where I'm going to leave you on today's video. I am so grateful you are here with me today. And please leave a comment on the video. Is there anything that I missed or anything that you want me to talk about? Please rate and review the Anxiety Project podcast. It's on iTunes and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Go check out that podcast. And lastly, remember, do not let anxiety define who you are. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell so that whenever a new video of mine appears, you will be the first to know. Namaste.